Well, hey, everybody. Okay, my name's Nancy Laine, and it is November 19th, 2014, and we're very, very lucky to have on the phone with us today Daniel Conley. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us.
Nancy, thank you for having me so much.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just really grateful that you have agreed to let us record this training session. The whole idea, of course, being this is a Project Transition USA training session, and we're going to be putting the recording of this up on our YouTube channel so other transitioning military members can learn from this. And it just cool thing about it is it helps me train a lot of people all at once instead of just one. So we're just really excited about our new YouTube channel. And as you and I were talking earlier today, Daniel, I just am so glad that you joined our Project Transition USA group. It's been quite some time now that you've been a member. We're very, very happy that you've been with us that long. And now you were in the Navy, is that correct?
Yeah, I was Navy. I was Green Navy, so to speak. I was in the Seabees. So I was a member of the construction battalion. That's where the word CB comes from.
Oh, interesting.
So it's Navy. It's Navy, but it's a land force.
Oh, that's interesting. And you were saying you were in the reserves after you got out of the Navy, right?
Yeah. So my last tour on active duty was in Afghanistan from 2008 to 2009, and I got out and stayed in the reserves until just this past year.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing all that. And it's just such an honor to help you. As we were talking about earlier, you have an interest in IT, I understand, and a couple titles of positions that you might particularly be interested in, if I heard you right, are product manager and what else were we saying?
Yeah, so for leadership roles, you have like product manager is something that I keep seeing that I could fit into, or operations management.
Okay.
Something in that leadership area, something where a lot of my military background would translate over and be able to use those skills.
Okay. Well, great. So, like I said, I'm thinking that the agenda for this particular session, we're going to try to keep it around 10 minutes, is I'm just going to show you a real creative way to use the Jobs tab in LinkedIn. This is all about LinkedIn, of course, for those of you who are listening for the first time. And the first thing that becomes real important is, when you're building your LinkedIn profile, it's just like creating a website. You have to have the right keywords on it or nobody will be able to find you, for one thing. And so one thing we teach in our workshops on MacDill Air Force Base with the transitioning military members there is that LinkedIn has a Jobs tab. You see, when you put your cursor over it, it appears. And when you click on it, here's a really interesting way to very easily be able to figure out what keywords you need to have on your profile. And you can search, like it's saying here, with job title, keywords, or company name. But right now, we're just going to click on, we're just going to put in IT Product Manager, and click search. And I have no idea what we're going to find here. We'll just see what comes up. Okay. Now, as you'll see here, we have over 78,000 results for IT Product Manager. And so we're, of course, going to be getting that down to a more manageable number. And here's what I would suggest we do. Over on the left here, you'll notice you can limit that search by various things. And I'm going to say, you were telling me earlier that right now you're in the LA area and you'd kind of like to stay within, that general area.
Yeah, geographically, like optimally what I would love is, to stay in Southern California, close to LA. But I'm also open to like the Bay Area and Cupertino and Palo Alto, pretty much Silicon Valley.
Okay. Well, notice here how we can click. These just happen to be there already. A lot of these positions are in LA and San Francisco. So we're going to just click LA right now. And it takes it down to 2,900. That's still a lot, just in the greater LA area. And if you wanted to, you could put in a zip code for whatever town you're interested in. Weren't you saying that, were you saying Cupertino is one of them?
Cupertino, I think, is kind of the general, like, central area for Silicon Valley. That's usually, or Mountain View, but probably Cupertino is probably.
Oh, but that's up north, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you were going to stay in the LA area, what's the name of a town, for instance, that you might be interested in working in?
Okay, so LA area, such a big county. I would say area-wise, like Thousand Oaks. You could use that as a
okay. Let's
reference.
just use that just for an example. Okay, if somebody said, and by the way, I used to work in Thousand Oaks. It's just so funny that you mentioned that. I'm in Tampa Bay, Florida now, but I worked in Thousand Oaks. So I would hit look up. That
my brain automatically went to like, okay, where's the nicest place in LA?
It was gorgeous. I mean, Tom Selleck lives there. He's always seen in the restaurants. So you just type in whatever city you're interested in. Right now we're going to put in Thousand Oaks, and we're just going to click search. And then we just copy the zip code. Doesn't matter which one. And then we just get out of that and go back to our search and type it in, just copy, paste it in there. Now we can just say, we can go within 10 to 100 miles of that. What should we put just for the sake of
let's go
showing
50.
You what we find here? 50. Just go ahead and keep it on the default 50, and then we can click search. This is going to help us limit that down from 2,900 to, and let's just see what we get. Well, about half of that. We still have a lot to work with, 1,045 results, of that, in that general area. So let's just...
And Nancy, not to interrupt you, but I didn't even know you could do a postal code or a zip code lookup on LinkedIn.
Isn't that amazing?
I should have assumed you could, with all it can do, but I just never really looked in that area. That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Because, and when I tell people, like, when we're teaching them the Air Force Base, I'm like, well, how far do you want to have to drive? If you don't want more than a 10-minute drive, let's say you did live, at that zip code, you could click, let's just see what we find here, within 10 minutes of wherever you want in the entire country. Let's just see if we get anything there. 54 jobs, see? Within 10-minute drive.
That's a really cool way to narrow it down, too.
Isn't it? And so, just for the sake of just keeping this simple, let's just say, okay, let's just see what we're getting here. And one thing I really like doing it this way, Westlake Village, I used to live right there. It gives you ideas of different types of jobs you might be interested in that you never thought of, different titles, and different companies that you maybe never even knew existed, right? But we know that they have something to do with IT, or they wouldn't be showing up in the search. So what I usually have them do in class is just scroll down a little bit as you kind of look at these and just see if there's any that just looks particularly interesting to you. So far, I haven't seen any that have that exact title, IT Product Manager. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put quotes around this keyword phrase so we get an exact search to see if we are able to find one with exactly that title.
Oh, okay. I'm writing that one.
I'm not even sure if we will, but we'll just see what happens here. There may be nobody calling their job. Yeah, see, nobody's actually using that exact 3 words. But, so I'm just going to take those quotes out again and just go back to the search we had before. But sometimes you do find that,
There was one, there was a few at the top of that last like some of those with Conversant. So like senior marketing manager, or even like media delivery manager. Those kind of seem like leadership, roles where having a little bit of or enough knowledge of all arrays to be able to lead projects really counts in those roles.
And by the way, look how cool this is. This job was literally posted just 2 days ago. And that's one thing that's really cool about LinkedIn. Like, for instance, this one was 2 days ago, 2 days ago. This one was today. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Now, this is within my network, of course, since we're, in my LinkedIn profile right now. It also tells me that I have 3 connections to the poster, to the person who posted that job. And you know how we were talking earlier about how what we were finding is it really is who you know that counts. Because we know it does not work just to, shotgun resumes out. The way we encourage people to do this is to use LinkedIn to get to know the people that work inside the company that you're interested in or the companies. And before you even consider, sending in a resume, you're going to be connected to some people inside that company. And ideally, you would have even spoken to several of them on the phone and emailed back and forth and maybe even met one of them in person if it's something local. Because what we're looking for is that you are armed with the inside scoop. So before you even interview there, and they love this, by the way. I know because we have recruiters that come and speak at our workshops on Makeover Air Force Base, and they say, oh, yeah, if you know somebody inside this company, chances are you're going to get an interview a lot quicker, and when you get to the interview, you're going to be so much better prepared. They said what we really don't like is for people to interview for a job when they know nothing about the company, they don't know anybody that works there. They're saying, now, what does that tell us? How authentic are they in their desire to work here,
Right, they're not pursuing any kind of like social engagement.
Yeah, and so what they're looking at is stacks and stacks of resumes. Their first mission is to reduce that number as soon as possible. And the recruiters that were talking to us recently, they only look at a resume for about 9 seconds, if that. And
I liked what you were saying, like, when we, sorry to interrupt, but because it's important, like when we talked before, you're saying, like, your resume can get lost in the shuffle because, or like a veteran might be thinking, for instance, oh, well, my resume's not getting read because it has, this background information, or something like that, when in fact it might have not even got read.
Right. Yeah, that's the sad thing. So many people take it personally, and so many times these people, I mean, you can't fault them for it. They have to be really efficient and really quick. So what really works the best, and they told me this themselves, is if somebody that works there or somebody they know sends them a resume of somebody they know and says, hey, look at this resume. We think that this guy here is just who you might be looking for. They've already pre-qualified them, and they're happy to do it. And sometimes they will schedule an interview with that person if they do see the keywords on there that they need and the skills that they're looking for. And then, I mean, that person has a really good chance of getting a resume. But even so, when you get in front of them at that point, you better know all about their company, and you better be able to tell them really convincingly why you're interested in working there, because the last thing they're looking for is somebody that's just trying to get a quick paycheck and is going to be out the door as soon as somebody else offers them more money or what else, whatever. They want to know you're really sincere about working there and that you've done your research and, you have a really good reason for wanting to be there.
Definitely.
So as we just scroll down, through these, 54 jobs that are potentially at least, something to use as an example here. If you happen to see one that strikes your fancy for whatever reason, Daniel, just let me know. And And as we're seeing here, we've got lots of different companies. Now, this is posted on November 12th. This is November 7th. They're still pretty fresh.
Let's check out technical marketing analyst with Zoom Tech. I just want to see, because I've never seen that job title before like that.
You bet. Yeah, because see, right here, we're already getting some ideas of keywords that you want to have on your profile. And personally, I'm not that familiar with this company, so let's see what we get. This is what I say to people. Just click on the name of the position here. And then look at all we're able to see. They're right in Thousand Oaks, which is exactly what we want. And look at this over here. People also viewed. It's even giving you other ideas of the people that looked at this position also viewed these positions. And so it leads you to even more ideas.
Oh,
and
awesome.
So here we are on the left. It's telling us about the company. Now, it looks like this is in the pharmaceutical realm, about medical devices, healthcare. It's a healthcare IT type of position. It's telling you some things that you want to know about, paid vacations, all that, their benefits. It looks like you get to the actual description right here. I can hear your 4-year-old son in the background. I just think it's so cool that you're an active dad, Daniel. I mean, I think a lot of the people listening will be able to relate to that.
You get to it's a juggle. You gotta especially when you're looking for employment, when you're looking to further your career.
Sure.
I can already hear him yelling for me again.
I can hear him.
He's in his own world right now, Ninja Turtles and whatnot. That's
cool.
the thing right now.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Okay, so here we are. We've scrolled down far enough, and we're getting the actual job description and the responsibilities. So now here's what I suggest people do, okay? I suggest they just copy all of this information here and all the way down to qualifications and everything. They copy that and then watch this. They just minimize their browser here. They open up a whole another browser, and we're going to go to a word cloud tool called WordItOut.com. I mean, there are several of these, but I like this one because it's easy to use. And take a look at this. You click on Word It Out, and then
that's
you just
what
paste.
Those pictures are. Okay, I see those all the time.
Those
Word
are
cloud.
Word cloud tools.
Okay.
So look what we're going to do. We're just going to paste all of that stuff. It's quite a bit of stuff here, right? All of it, the description of the company, the job, the responsibilities, the qualifications, everything. And we're going to click on Word It Out. Now, this is cool, huh? But this font is a little hard to read, so we're going to say random settings. And we're just going to click on it until we get to, this one's easier to read. But you can keep clicking on it, and you just keep clicking until you get to one that really makes it easier for you. And you'll notice how in all of these, we'll just stick with this one, the words that are used the most are bigger. But all of these words here, it's really kind of giving you a snapshot. It's like, think about it this way, Daniel. If you were serious about this particular job, you would want to make sure that all those words were in your profile and in your resume. And the most important ones, as you'll be able to tell just from the job description itself, need to be towards the top of your resume and towards the top of your profile. And certainly in your job titles, hopefully you have had jobs or whatever that have these words in it, and you want to have them in your current and past position job descriptions. and you want to have them in your interests. There's all kinds of things that we teach people on how to be one of the top people in a search, as far as, because we know these recruiters are using LinkedIn. I think at least 96% of recruiters say that LinkedIn's their favorite tool to find people at. So since they're in a hurry, trust me, if you have all of these words somewhere on your profile, now it could be that you don't have experience with all these words, so maybe you won't have every single one of them. But if you have most of these words in your resume and your profile, and you're connected to people inside of that company and to the actual recruiters, and you might even be able to tell who it was that posted this job. By the way, they would love for you to invite them to connect if you have all these words and all these skills on your profile and you're serious about this job. You're making their job easier. The recruiters love what we do. They're going, please make it easier for us to find these people that qualify to this position. Please make it, because they get paid by, the number of people that they help get hired. And, geez, it's like at this point, you're the answer to their prayers.
Right. So let's say that we're on that job search page and we came across the result, like with the Zintech position, which I think is awesome. By the way, I love that they want somebody who's entrepreneurial minded. But let's say that we're on that job search page, because I know this has happened to me before, and I'm sure it's happened to others. You come across, I kind of struggle with this. You come across a position, even if you might not have your profile worded awesomely as you just taught how to do, but you feel like you could get a shot at it, so to speak. What is a good way to reach out to that recruiter to, from once you find that job, to try to reach out to them?
Well, this is what we do first. First you make sure that they're going to be impressed when they look at your profile. So that's got to come first, of course, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to go to your profile and see. Now, one thing before we leave this screen, I do want you to notice that they're telling me that there were a few words that would not fit. And all of these here you want to be sure and have in your profile too. But we're just going to go ahead and minimize that and go back to that job title and the job description. So once you do have it, here's your son. Bless him.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's fine. Hey, look, this is a slice of real life here.
Yeah,
like,
hold
Dad, I want your attention. Go ahead if you need to, tell him something. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. Nancy?
Yeah?
Oh, you're there. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Sure, no problem. Not at all. So that's the first thing. Before you even think about contacting somebody inside that company, you're going to make sure that as soon as they look at your profile, they're going to go, wow, this looks like the ideal candidate. Okay? So that has happened first. Now, it looks like he really needs something there. Go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, he's not,
get something for him?
Not giving in. If there was any other call, right? He's just
That's
not
all right.
giving in. Yeah, go ahead.
That's how 4-year-olds are. They're very persistent. That's why, they're the ones that would get the job. They would never quit,
Yeah, like you made me wait long enough. So.
Right. He's just showing us what persistence looks like.
Yeah,
okay.
No, it's fine. He's good for the moment.
Oh, good. He's good now. All right. So anyway, that's the first thing. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have really thought about this, and you will have already gone to their company page. So let me show you that right now, too. We're going to click on this right here. And look at that. It takes you straight to their LinkedIn company page. And I want to show you the beauty of doing it this way, Danielle, because look at this. It's telling you right here. Well, what it's telling you is how I'm connected inside of that company. But I've got 5 second-degree connections. I am not connected directly to anybody that works there, but that's only because I've never really tried to get connected there. But hey, if I've got 5 second-degree connections, those people, I can invite them to connect. And I can say something like, hey, I've got a friend that's interested in working at your company, and I teach people how to use LinkedIn. These are veterans, by the way, and we teach them to get it connected inside of the company before they ever can even think about interviewing for a job. So would you be kind enough to connect with me, and I'll that way he'll be able to connect with you. And they almost all say, oh, you help veterans find jobs? Of course, of course. So
yeah, totally.
But anyway, so that's really important. And if I was serious about working here, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to start following this company, and that's what I would, encourage you to do too. Because, hey, look, that's what they want. They want you. They want to know that you're serious about their company and that you're reading their company page. And see, it's going to let me open this up. I'm going to be able to see more about them. And by the way, this is a really big hint on what words they think are important. So if you can have these words on your profile too, of course you're only going to put them on your profile if there's some way that you really have a connection with those words. We don't want anybody to lie. That's probably should be obvious, but anyway, it's going to let me click on the jobs that they have posted right from their company page. And now that I'm following their company, every time they have an update, in other words, every time they post a new update like here, it's going to be on my in my home tab. Like right here. That's the stuff that appears in your home tab is people that are posting updates, whether they be companies you're following or people that you're connected to. So, by the way, you definitely need to know all about them, and you want to have read all of their recent updates, and maybe even added comments. See, that's not bad. This is a good way. They want you to comment, and that's a way to show that you're seriously interested and that you're doing your homework before you even apply. And look at this. This is, right from probably they posted this 7 days ago on, Veterans Day, November 11th. But they're telling you right there, they're veteran friendly. And that is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. So you just keep scrolling down and you teach yourself all about this company. I mean, obviously they're using LinkedIn very seriously. They've got a lot of pictures. They've got a whole lot of posts. They expect you to know all this stuff, trust me. And if you do know it, you're going to be one in a million. They don't really expect you to know this, but if you do, boy, they're going to be impressed. Because bottom line, what I really meant to say is that very few people really know about the company to the degree that they should before they go to an interview. You're going to be impressing the heck out of this recruiter if you've just done the stuff that we're talking about up till now. So at this point, once you really know what they're doing, what they're interested in, and maybe even gotten a few ideas of how you might be able to help them, that wouldn't hurt. Only then do you want to start connecting inside of that company. Now, you may not have any connections inside of this company, Daniel, but you want to probably reach out to somebody in your network that does and ask for an introduction. So I'm just going to show you. I think we've gone way over 10 minutes, by the way, that's okay. I would click on this because I want to see who I know inside of this company. And I know 5 people. I'm not first level connected to any of them, like we said, but because they're second level, I can invite them to connect. And I'm going to look to see, look at this, the Vice President of Sales. President and CEO. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Now,
it's telling me right
is that a
there.
standard with the connecting? Is that like just because I've never thought about it, I guess I should have, but like sometimes not in like searching for jobs, but just in search results, I'll be able to click that small blue connect button. And sometimes it'll do the circle wait thing, and then it'll connect. And then other times it won't. And I think you just made me realize that is it standard that you can only do that if it's second degree or I don't know, somewhere.
I'm going to answer that question in two phases, because the first thing I want to tell you is don't click on the connect button. The correct way to invite somebody to connect is to open up, let's just say, for this sake, let's talk about this person, Renee, because look at this, marketing and recruiting analyst, okay? That's, I would say, you want to start connecting with recruiters. All of these people are management, level, C-level, business development manager. Now in this case, what I would hope to find is a veteran that works inside of that company that you could connect with. It's not necessarily the vice president to start with, not necessarily the recruiter to start with. And there are ways to find veterans, but none of it is immediately apparent right now. But let's just say, let's take a look at Mark, okay? He's the business development manager. I'm not going to click connect here because so many times when you connect in ways like that, they may not let you write a personal message, and you never want to invite somebody to connect without a personal message. So the way to do it is you click on their name, you open up their profile, and you're going to read it first, okay? You're gonna be able to see right here, he's been there for 10 months. You're going to be able to see where he worked before that. This is part of your education process because, for one thing, it might give you an idea of what their hiring pattern is. Where have the people worked before they were hired there? That might give you some clues as to what their hiring pattern is, where they look for people, what types of titles people had before they got that position that they were hired for. It could, you want to take a look at the keywords, the skills that they've got on their profile, because this is going to give you some ideas of the skills you want to have on yours. Now, of course, this is a business development manager. That's not even the position you're looking for. But, I'm just kind of trying to give you an idea that you can learn an awful lot about somebody and about this company just from really looking at somebody's profile. You're going to come down here and maybe even read the recommendations that people have written. I mean, it's very important to have recommendations on your profile that tell people how good you are at IT, because that's the kind of position you want, and specifically, hopefully, how good you are in what you know about, product management, so you're going to be able to see the groups that this person's in and maybe join some of those groups. You might want even to see the companies that this person's following, because that's what it's going to look like on your profile in the school. So only after you've read all this and even look to see exactly how you're connected, like what it's telling me is that these two people here are directly connected to Mark, I might choose to click on this, get introduced, and I'll choose one of them, like Kevin. Maybe I'll just say, Kevin, I won't do it, of course, but I would say, hi, Kevin. I noticed you're connected to Mark Todd at Zentech. That company looks really interesting to me, and I would like to connect with a couple people inside of it just to learn more about the company and et cetera, to really do a good job of educating myself. Would you mind introducing me to him? I mean, if for any reason at all, do you know him well? I was asked that. Do you happen to know him well? Don't assume you know them well. And say, if for any reason you don't feel, comfortable doing this, please don't, no worries, I'll ask somebody else. But thanks for letting me know. And then you just click ask for an introduction. That goes straight to Kevin, somebody who might know him really well. This might be his college roommate for all we know. And right. That's what you want. You want to go in with a warm introduction, ideally. So I'm not going to do that
I think
now.
where people struggle, I personally struggle the most with, and not necessarily out of lack of desire, but just the wording oftentimes is, giving them a way to politely say no.
Yeah. So anyway, you'll have those words right on this recording. You can kind of remember it again. And this lets you put way more than it allows you to put when you're inviting somebody to connect. You know how you only get like 2 or 3 sentences when you're inviting somebody to connect, but here you can make it fairly long, because one thing you want to keep in mind is Todd is going to see this. That's why this works so well. The person, like if it's Kevin, that was sending this, Kevin won't have to come up with wording. That's why this is such a beautiful way to do it. You are making it very clear why you want to connect with him, and you want to let him know that you're not looking to ask this person for a job. You're just doing your due diligence here, and people respect that. I mean, somebody helps them get the job probably, So
yeah, it's easy
anyway,
to forget about those things, when you get wrapped up in connecting.
Yeah. So we've kind of gone way over the 10 minutes that we were going to allow for this particular subject, because we were really just talking about how to know what keywords to put on your profile. But when people go to this depth and they know how to use LinkedIn, by the time they apply for that job, they've got a good chance of getting it. They're not going to be just one, person out of a million people. They're going to be just shining like a diamond in a heap of rocks. And the recruiters are going to thank God, that you have applied. In fact, they might invite you to apply. You might even contact them after you've already connected with several people inside that company, and they've already told you the inside scoop of what that company really values as far as, like what kind of person do they like hiring? What's the company culture like? Because you want to know if you'd fit in there. You might come right out and ask somebody, do they like hiring military veterans? Is this a really military-friendly company? Or if not, do they want to be?
Put them on the spot.
Yeah. And in fact, really, here's how I would really encourage you to approach people when you invite them to connect. You could say, I'm a transitioning military member, and I have a lot of friends that are too, and we help each other by inviting people to connect inside of different companies, so we can personally introduce them to people that might be able to help them learn more about a company. Now, of course, you're going to have to really, really condense that into the 2 or 3 sentences you're allowed. But there's other ways. Like once you're in a group that people are in, you can send them a message without even inviting them to connect. Just send them a message and say, hey, you're in my group. This is, why I'm thinking about inviting you to connect. Would you be open to connect with me? And then if they respond back like, oh, sure, then when you write them that invitation request message, it can be really short because they already know who you are. They're going to say yes. There's just all kinds of strategies like this. And when you think about it, Daniel, the people that have been out of work for a long time, how many of them do you really think know about these strategies? I'm just asking you that.
Just off the top of my head, I don't think that many people know about how powerful LinkedIn could be at all.
Yeah.
I think a
That's
lot of people
what we're finding.
in my own, friends and family, network, people are not anti-LinkedIn, but they don't understand it. It's like, it's a social network for business. But they don't understand how powerful it is. And as much as I thought I knew about it, just in this one, session with you, I've learned stuff that I already feel like I could start using to increase my chances of engagement, make my profile stronger, things like that. So this is awesome.
Yeah. And, again, I really appreciate you allowing us to record this, Danielle, because we're going to help so many people at the same time. And just as we wrap up here, I want to wrap up this way, and I want to show you one last thing. When you're looking for groups, for instance, you click here and search whatever it is that you're searching for. At this time, we're searching groups. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show everybody how to find our group on LinkedIn, the Project Transition USA group, because I've learned a lot of people don't know how to find it. So I will say don't click on any of these things. In this case, just click on the blue button, because we have lots of subgroups, and I don't want people to get confused. I want you to go to the main group.
Okay.
And then it's at the top. You click on the name of the group again. And this is our group. Now, I'm already a member, of course, because I manage this group, as a matter of fact. And for those who don't know me, I'm a co-founder of this nonprofit, Project Transition USA. And we're all about helping transitioning military find jobs. And one of the main strategies we use is we invite people to join our group. If I wasn't a member already, this would say join, okay? And I would simply say, what you want to do is click on join. You're automatically going to be allowed to join us. We have civilians and military in our group. As you can see, we have over 1,600 people in our group. But one thing I want to show you right now is at the top, you're going to be able to read success stories of people that have found jobs. And it's going to be their own stories of what worked for them with our help. You're going to be able to click on this button right here, members. And once you're a member, watch this. I'm just going to give you a quick little teaser. This is going to blow your mind probably. Once you're a member of a group, as soon as you click the Members tab, this little search box opens. And look at this. We're going to put in IT Product Manager. And we're going to see who pops up in this group who has these words on their profile. Now, after you put them in your profile and you have your profile really sprinkled with all these words, Daniel, your profile should show up first. And that's one way you can test to see how well you've done. Okay? If you're looking for this job, you definitely want to show up on that search, don't you? So you click search. And now we're just searching the members of this group. Your fellow members, because I know you've been in this group for some time. 6 people show up on a search for this keyword phrase. Now, here's a little clue for you. If you're not connected with these people, you're probably going to want to open up their profile and see why they're showing up on a search for this, because that's going to teach you more about where those keywords need to be in your profile. And these might be people you want to connect with because, hey, product managers like to help other product managers. I mean, they may not be interested in the niches or the companies that you're interested in, and they might have friends all over the country that are other product managers that would be happy to help you. And one reason why I'm ending our little training session by showing you this is I want to make a point of this. All of the members in this group are military friendly, or they would not be in our group. There's a lot of recruiters in this group, and they're all military friendly. You can count on that, or they would not have joined. And we've got some really high level HR managers and recruiters in this group. Just for instance, a couple days ago, the HR manager of Apple, the senior human resources manager of Apple, just joined our group. We're so thrilled to have her with us. And that's just an example of the type of people that are in here. We've got generals. We've got all kinds of celebrity authors in this group. So what we tell people is, look, you need to have a big network, and it needs to be over a broad spectrum. And one safe way to do that is invite the members of this group to connect with you. There's over 1,600 people in this group already there. They're friendly, and they know you're just learning how to use LinkedIn. In fact, maybe they are too. a lot of people that go to our workshops join. So it's a very safe place to learn how to use LinkedIn and to get connected without having to go out there in those deep ocean waters where you just might get hurt with people who are not really that friendly to connect with people. These people here, you can consider them friendly.
Awesome.
And you want to get to having 500 first-level connections as soon as possible. Everything in LinkedIn works better after you reach that level of connectedness and have that many first-level connections. So any burning questions you wanted to ask me before we end this session?
Yeah, one last thing that was on my mind, kind of from the keyword, not necessarily a group question, but back to the keyword thing, is there a different strategy? I know kind of overall it should be the same, but is there a different strategy between keywords on your heading? Like your heading is awesome. I always like look at your heading and I'm like, wow, our heading's like so cool. It says, everything that you are, but like it's worded so well. Is there a difference in the keywords on your heading and your page, your main body of your page? Yeah. Is there a different strategy?
Yeah, there definitely. And thanks for asking that, actually, because I wanted to show people my profile because I would love to invite people to invite me to connect. And so now you know what my profile looks like. I'm Nancy Laine. And what we're talking about right now with Daniel's question is the headline is the portion right underneath your name. And this is often the only thing people see. Like, for instance, recruiters, you want to have IT product manager, hopefully, in either your headline or, if that's the job you want, or in one of your, like the top part of your summary section right here, or, and maybe all, and perhaps, this is my current level position. By the way, I have more than one current position. And there's all kinds of strategies we'll teach you, but just I want you to know that you definitely want to have your most important keywords in the title portion of your current level position and also in the job titles of your past positions, hopefully. Hopefully you can legally put that there if you've really done that. And you want to have those words in the description of your jobs because that ranks really highly too. But for this very short discussion, just remember, recruiters may only spend 9 seconds looking at your profile. So you better have the most important keywords towards the top. And that comes straight from them, I'm telling you. They probably won't continue to read your resume or your profile if that's not true.
Okay.
So,
So the heading and the summary is kind of
heading and
most of your
and look, right at the top, it's even going to show them the titles of your current job. So,
and that's something I often forget.
It's going to be right there.
Right. I always forget that they automatically, populate the top, portion of your profile with your past work experience.
I'll bet you that most recruiters, they might find you on a search for a word. And remember, they're searching for people for that particular position. And if you have all the words from their job description and their requirements and all that, you're going to show up really, really close to the top, especially if you're already connected within their company. Remember this, Danielle, once you're connected to one person that's connected to a lot of people in that company, you're second level automatically with a ton of people that in that company already, just being connected with one person. So it's not hard. It's probably safe to connect with their salespeople. Salespeople are often very, very welcoming to people inviting them to connect. They need a big network, and they know that. So anyway, the recruiters might take the time, for instance, after looking at this part, they might take the time to look at the top part of your summary, and they might just scroll down really quick and look at the headline, your titles of your past jobs, et cetera. And that might be the only chance they get because they're in a hurry. They've got to find people really quick. And the bottom line is you're not even inviting anybody to connect until you're ready for them to look at your profile. They'll know in a flash. They should be able to know in a flash that you're ideally suited for that position that they've got open. In that case, they will take the time to read the rest of your profile, and they will connect with you.
Yeah, that's something that that you've kind of brought to my attention in a major way, is I need to refocus my strategy on my profile before I just start, jumping the gun and trying to reach out and connect to all these recruiters and stuff, which I have done in the past, but now I kind of realize why it might not have worked out as well in my favor. So just from this one, session with you right now, I've kind of reframed my entire goal, and my profile needs a little bit of a makeover. So,
now you know what to do, and just one last comment. Your picture is going to be real important, especially with civilian recruiters. I just want to make a comment. They may not have a clue who it is in the picture with you that you're using on your headline. So here's what I would suggest, Daniel.
It would be so cool if they did, but I know you're right.
I understand,
most of them are
but just remember,
like,
most people, I understand people in the military would automatically know. And by the way, who is that? I don't even know. Who is that in your picture?
You know what, I kind of automatically assume, unless it's, like a high-ranking spec ops guy or, a senior officer, most people are not going to look at the person and know who it is, but what I always hope for is that they'll see the stars and be like, wow, that's some
I'm going back to your profile.
kind of an accomplishment. That was me getting to meet.
This is you, right? In the white?
In Afghanistan. Yeah, that's me in Afghanistan while I was a civilian, and I'm getting to meet this was a time in my life, it was kind of hard because my dad was battling like multiple cancers. He's a Vietnam veteran, he's Agent Orange. And so my goal, as soon as I found out that the MCPON, which is the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, he's like the highest, enlisted guy, I found out that he was going to be at our FOB or our camp. And so
you were at a forward operating base. Wow.
Yeah, it was a small, in the western, in a western province, about 500-600 people when it got built.
In the boonies.
So, totally in the boonies, about 50 miles away from the Iranian border. I was there for 2 years in that area, and then I was in the east for a year, closer to the Pakistan border. So I find out the MCPON's coming to the camp, and I'm like, I have to meet the MCPON. I have to get his coin for my dad, because supposedly he has like one of the coolest military coins. It's an anchor, a golden anchor. So I ask my senior supervisor, I kind of explain what's going on and why I want to get his coin, and he just walked straight over to the TOC, which is the, like Central Command Building headquarters, and he just straight out asked if I could meet the MCPON. So that particular day, the Joint Chief of Staff was there, and that's who that 4-star admiral is. It's Admiral
May
Mullen.
I ask you to tell us is this him on the left?
Yeah, that's on the left. That's
and what is his name?
The admiral. That is Admiral Mullen.
Admiral Mullen.
Right. I believe it's and he's actually on LinkedIn, so which is cool. That's and then on the right is the MCPON. And you know what? For the life of me right now, I can't remember what the MCPON's name was during that year. It's changed since then. I think it's a different MCPON entirely now, but that was like one of the coolest moments of my entire, all of, being in country, active and civilian, was getting to meet them. And I actually ended up getting both of their coins. I gave both to my father, so he put them in his coin collection on display. Because I know they'll get passed back to me eventually.
How's your dad doing?
He's actually in remission. It went from the was it lymph nodes? Can't remember anatomy right now, but it went from the upper part of the neck to the lung. So he just had surgery. They took a part of his lung out, and then he did radiation, a couple rounds of that, and he's good now. He's just trying to really trying to stay healthy.
I'm so glad to hear that. Bless you and your dad. And I think that makes the point here. Now we understand, why you have that picture there, and it's just very touching. I'm glad I asked you all of that. But I will tell you this, what recruiters want to see and what LinkedIn wants to see is a headshot, and that's just from the top of your head to maybe the middle of your chest. And you definitely want your eyes to be showing, because subconsciously that lends trust to you, and you want to have some kind of it doesn't have to be a professional headshot done by a professional photographer, but it's probably not a bad idea either. I think that, it's relatively inexpensive to get one made. But you know what? Even having a friend take a picture of you, with just a headshot with a camera that's really good, those are professional qualities these days.
That was my instant idea as soon as you told me that.
Yeah.
Because there's software to make it look really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, people ask me all the time, what should you wear in it? Well, it kind of depends on what job you're applying for, but generally speaking, if you're applying for a civilian job and you're ready to work right now, you might want to just have a nice dress shirt on and perhaps a tie, perhaps not. It kind of depends on the type of job that you're interested in, but you just want to look professional and with a professional background of some kind. Even if it's just a solid, background, whatever, it really will help you more than I can possibly tell you right now.
I had a vet colleague make a joke about. I had a vet colleague make a joke about my picture, and just being funny, he asked me if I was trying to get hired by Nike, just because of the, I guess the way the photo looks, and it's like kind of product placement looking. But yeah, that you totally gave me what I needed to hear, which is that not only do I need to update my photo, but the reasons why, instead of just for the sake of it needs to be updated. But it's good. Sure. It's good to know, and it's important to hear from someone else that that's what recruiters want to see. That's what anyone wants to see.
Absolutely. On the page. And by the way, congratulations! You're already at 500 plus first level connections. That's awesome. I mean, you've got a great start. We won't show the rest of your profile right now. Maybe what we'll do is just let you work on it a little while, and then our next session, we'll cover a different topic, and perhaps even get more into exactly, how to build your profile. But I think that's definitely enough for now. We're over an hour, and we want to have this on our YouTube channel soon. I'm hoping that they'll accept a recording this long. If not, we might have to edit it slightly. But hey, we've got some great content here. And again, Daniel, I just can't thank you enough for allowing us to use you as an example. And this is just going to help so many people out there. We'll let you know when this is posted on YouTube. For right now, I will tell you this. I'll be uploading it in our Project Transition USA group in a discussion very soon, and that is another reason that you'll want to encourage your friends to join the group so they can get the link to this recording there right away.
Definitely.
And
definitely.
I'll look forward to talking with you again soon. Please give your little son a hug for us. Bless his heart. I know that a lot of the people listening to this can relate to 4-year-olds who love Ninja Turtles. So,
awesome. Thank you, Nancy, for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time, to do this for me. It's really important, and I totally look forward to the next session.
Well, me too. We'll make it really soon, and we'll be in touch on LinkedIn to schedule our next training session. And over and out for now. We'll see you in our Project Transition USA group.
All right, you got it. I will talk to you soon, Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.